everyone. Today we are going to do poem 3, Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. In this very poem, the poet Pablo Neruda, which is actually a pen name of Neftali Ricardo Reyes Basualdo, he is talking about the necessity of quiet introspection. Introspection means looking within, thinking about your actions and their impact on your life as well as on other lives. Pablo Neruda won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1971. His poems are usually full of easily understood images. Poem begins like, now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. Have a look at, he has used a pronoun we. The purpose behind using a pronoun we is that one, he is talking in a communicative manner. He is interacting with readers. Two, he is trying to involve everyone in the very task where he is going to tell us something differently. That's why we will count. He doesn't say I will count and you do. He's not instructing. He is simply joining that very activity. Now, another important thing to be noted is he is saying at the count of 12, we all will become still. So it is like a game, it is like an activity that at the count of 12, we all will become still. But why exactly he picks up number 12? He could have picked up any other number, but he has specified 12 because number 12 denotes many things that rule our life. One of such is 12 hours. So if you have a look at the clock, it has 12 hours. After 12 hours, the part of the day changes. Midnight at 12, the day changes. Then there are 12 zodiac signs that govern humans. It is considered that only under these 12 signs, millions and billions of people are categorized. Then there are 12 months in a year. Seasonal cycle ends with the 12th month and once again it starts. And then he says the count 12. 12 is nothing but a count. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much. In a busy schedule, if we ask someone to stop, he wouldn't pay attention. But if we ask him, could you just give me 1 second? Person might think. That's right. He says, let's stop for 1 second. Now, where he is asking each one to be still at the count of 12 and be still just for 1 second. He's asking on the face of the earth. On the face of the earth refers to on the surface of the earth. Okay? So on the surface of the earth, he is asking everyone not to speak in any language. It means he is asking everyone to be still and be silent. But why silent? Because languages many a time may discriminate. Languages, they belong to specific community, they belong to specific region, they belong to specific country. So he is asking us that if we are not using any language for 1 second, we all will be united. That's why he is asking us, let's stop for 1 second, be silent and not even move our arms so much. That is, don't be involved in any activity, any physical activity. Then further lines say, it would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. we would all be together in a sudden strangeness. He says, when we all are going to be united, we all are going to be silent, we all are going to be still, that moment will be an exotic moment. It will be a rare, it will be unusual moment for all of us. Now, two reasons why it will be rare: because we all are united. Two, there won't be any rush. The people won't rush to achieve their personal goals, they won't rush to reach their destinations. Two, without engines, because industrial work will come to a standstill during that moment after the count of 12. And industrial work many a times harms environment and eventually harms us. So we would all be together. So at the count of 12, for a short moment, we all will unite in that moment of silence. Now the silence that has suddenly come on to us at the count of 12, that is appearing to be strange. All people on earth are united. That's why he has used alliteration, sudden strangeness. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Now have a look. He is talking about a fisherman in the cold sea. So inside the sea, he is referring to the sea part. Outside the sea, man gathering salt. So in and around sea, he is talking about cold sea. Why cold sea? He's trying to tell that the people, they have turned cold in their heart. That's why fisherman who has been hunting fish, hunting whale, um, is in the process of killing other forms of life for his needs or for his greed. He would stop. So at the count of 12, fishermen would not harm whales. 2. At the count of 12, the man who is gathering salt would stop doing that too. Rather, he would sit and look at his hurt hands. His hurt hands. Alliteration. So, two categories he is talking about: the people who are harming other forms of life, and the working class of society, the industries, as we had talked about, the very benefit that they think they are doing to the society, but somewhere it is harming them as well as others. So the man gathering salt, look at his hurt hand. Now, if we have a look, he has given us two examples to show that if at the count of 12 we be silent, we be still, we will be able to look at ourselves. This is the self introspection part. We will be able to think about our actions and their impact. Those who prepare green wars, wars with gas, wars with fire, victory with no survivors. Now, another example, he says how we are damaging environment, how we are damaging nature. So, condemning war, he says that the very people who declare war against environment, war with pollution, that is gas, wars with fire, using different ammunitions, those very people, even they will come to a standstill and they will realize there is no victory because there are no survivors. So all people at the count of 12, they will start thinking about the negative impact of their actions. Further he says, would put on clean clothes. Now the first line seems incomplete. But as they are in connection, we can easily think about would put on clean clothes. Who would put on clean clothes? Fishermen, man gathering salt, and people declaring war. These people would put on clean clothes, alliteration, and they will walk about with their brothers. Who are the brothers? Fellow human beings on earth. So no discrimination is there. No one is rich, no one is poor, no one is more powerful, no one is submissive one. Everyone is going to join hand. That's why in the shade, that is joining hand, walking together, doing nothing. But here the question is, when he says do nothing, he is actually not saying no activity, because mentally at the count of 12 we are active, only our body is still. And once we have learned a lesson, we will put on clean clothes, we will start fresh. So definitely it cannot be doing nothing. Nothing here doesn't mean that even mentally we have stopped working. Now if you have a look, he is making further clarity. What I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no truck with death. So poet is warning us, do not confuse doing nothing with total inactivity, because total inactivity means death. Total inactivity means complete stillness, complete silence. He's not talking about that. That's why he says should not be confused with total inactivity. And I want no connection with death. I want no truck with death. I want no association with death. But what I'm talking about, life is what it is about. Life means continuity. And continuity means we cannot continuously work. We cannot continuously be on a single task or a single activity. We need to take short breaks in between. So he is saying, at the count of 12, take a break, think about your actions, focus on introspection, and then start again. So after introspection, when you are going to start, you will be thinking about betterment. He continues, if we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving and for once could do nothing, perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness of never understanding ourselves and of threatening ourselves with death. So he says that if we were not so single-minded. What does single-minded mean? He's not saying being focused, being ambitious is bad, but being focused only on your goal, only on your aim, which may harm others, is bad. So he's saying, think about yourself, but at the same time, make sure it's not just your life moving. It's not just what you are doing that is important, but other people are important as well. That's why, for a short while, do nothing. At that time, at the count of 12, as everyone will be silent, everyone on earth will be silent. So huge silence will interrupt the sadness. What kind of sadness? The sadness of never understanding our true purpose. We human beings are social animals. So we need to think about ourselves as well as about others. That's why the sadness of never understanding ourselves and just being self-centered and thus harming our life as well as others' life, threatening that with death, will come to a stop with this huge silence. As he had given us few examples that were showing the negative impact on us and others. So poet here is giving us a positive as well. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive, earth can teach us. So, earth is personified here. Now, earth teaches us that many a times appearances can be deceptive. So, when everything seems dead, in winter season, we find that everywhere snow covered regions are seen. So, snow cover makes things look bare, makes look thing dead. But it doesn't mean that life has vanished from that very snow covered region. Because the minute spring arrives, what happens? World changes. So he is asking that the things that appeared to be dead were actually just dormant. And the minute right opportunities come, they come out alive. So even earth is telling us being still, being silent doesn't mean that one is dead, because the person is taking a break. He will become alive again. Dead and alive. Have a look in two lines, second and third line. He has used dead and alive to opposites. So here we are talking about antithesis, that is a figure of speech, to achieve a contrasting effect. Last lines of the poem. Now I will count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. So here the poet says that now I have explained to you the purpose of introspection. I have told you how to introspect as well and what you have to focus on. So yes, you can continue this activity on your own without my help. So I will count up to 12. So he starts count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.